take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Why is nobody talking about how difficult no contact actually is? Everybody's talking about let go, do this, break up, block, everything like that. But no one's talking about how difficult the no contact is. Do you know, yeah? Let me just be honest with you and real. Okay? I was like a crack fiend standing before a river of crack trying to figure out how I was not going to break the no contact rule. Right? It took me 2 days to break the no contact rule. I failed. Okay? On many occasions. So I'm here to help you guys navigate the no contact aspect. I'm going to give you 3 ways that makes no contact impossible. And then I'm going to give you some solutions as well, right? Because I can't just tell you how hard it can be and tell you the 3 things that make it impossible without actually giving you some solutions that are going to make it easier to actually navigate, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. My story is very simple. Look, I was in a situation, things arise, but I had to be smart about it. Okay, listen, my situation is I was in Egypt. Okay, when I say Egypt, what I really mean by that is I was in a place where I was just doing absolute madness, just sleeping with different women, and I don't want to make that a great thing. It's not. I'm a Christian. I'm changed. Okay, I'm a changed man. Okay, I'm no longer a pimp. I'm no longer. I'm changed. But you know what I mean? Like I was in that space, and look, I thought I was an irresistible force, and I was for a time and being. Until I met an immovable force. I ended up falling in love in a situationship. Don't do it. I'll tell you the story another time. And I fell in love with this person, right? And it was just a wrong situation. Like the person was still stuck in kind of in the face of the ex situation. I knew better. I want you to understand, I threw away principles, rules, ideas. I knew better. But you know when love gets you down and it catches you off guard, yeah? And you weren't expecting it. We found love in this broken place. Like, that's what happened to me. Okay? Like, listen, I was a rate G, but I found it in a broken place, bro. Okay? All right? I know better now. I know what you're saying right now. Listen, you shouldn't have been. I found myself in that situation. And it got to a place where I knew that we were going to have to break up, right? She wanted to figure out her head. I wanted to still want her. But, you know, I was struggling to let it go because I was so used to winning. I had an ego and I had pride. I didn't know how to let it go. So in that breakup where we were meant to just leave each other alone, yeah, I broke the no contact zone. And it was difficult to do because I thought I was...
Who are you?
My name is a pimp named Slickback.
That's what I thought I was, but ended up not being that way. You get me saying to you? So let me dive into this video. 3 things that make it impossible, okay, all right, impossible to actually do this no contact business. Now, if you don't know what no contact is, it simply is a strategy used to cut off all communication with a person. Okay, it's typically used after a breakup or maybe a toxic relationship or a situation, or maybe sometimes it's even an intent.
Yes. Yes.
A relationship.
Yes. It was.
Yeah. Well said it best, but it's an entanglement. Okay, typically after an entanglement or something like you want to break up, you don't want to have no more conversation with that person. You completely cut ties with all communication. That means social media's gone. Yeah, that means no more texts. Gone. No more in-person meetings, no impromptu meetings, no, oh, I didn't know you were going to be here meetings, okay? No calls neither, yeah? None of it. Shenanigan, done, yeah? No looking at your pictures on your phone or anything like that. Everything has to be deaded. And that's where the trouble usually starts. Now, there are 3 things. Number 1, the power of silence. No one talks about. No one talks about how difficult it is to have silence. I'm going to talk about this. Number 2 is no one talks about if it's not a bad breakup. Like me and the girl didn't have a bad breakup. Like I don't hate her. She's not my enemy. I'm not trying to kill her. No one talks about that. And number 3, no one talks about the hope that kills. No one talks about it, right? It's a hope that will finish you on a no contact, you know.
Hope is a dangerous thing. Hope can drive a man insane.
Yes, it can drive a man insane, and it drove me insane, like a crackhead that was trying to figure it out, like Dave Chappelle.
What y'all tell him, huh? Come on, Benedict Arnold. What y'all tell him?
Okay, Rhonda, would you like to go first?
They told him I was a crackhead. Anyway, listen, real spit. So the no contact thing. 3 things. Number 1, let's talk about this. First one is the shock of silence. Okay, the moment you go into no contact, you are having no contact with that person completely. And it's so difficult because if you've been talking, if you had conversations, if you guys were texting, calling, messaging each day, right? You're used to a consistency and a frequency of connection and communication. Suddenly you're asking the person to completely cut it dead. That is one of the hardest things to deal with. Because now, how do you replace the frequency and the communication that you had with somebody? How do you replace the connection? Right? I spoke to this person for almost a year, day in, day out. I told them things. I confessed secrets. I let them into my inner sanctuary in my world, my guy. You know what I'm saying to you? You know the ones where, as a man, you know you let them go into places other people have never been to. I trusted you. So to let someone into that space is special, bro. You know what I'm saying to you? So I got to that place. So now I got to let all of that go. Aaron P, yeah, it's Mufasa. Like, yeah, it was crazy. I don't know why that came to my head. That's how crazy it was, right? It was crazy. So no one talks about that, all right? Number two, no one talks about how it's so difficult if there's no cheating. There's no real toxic drama. I mean, situationships can be, okay? It's just a circumstance. It's just like, I hate that I love you, boy. Like, it's not like you guys are angry at each other where you can be like, I'm angry at you, you cheat on me, so I've got to leave you, and, you know, have that kind of reason to move. It's more like, no, we're cool, we're actually friends, and actually we realize right now it's not the time nor the season. But you have to let that go, and it's like, you're not my enemy. How do I process that? You know, I look at your picture, I don't feel angry. I don't look at your picture and go, I hate you. I look at your picture and go, damn, you're kind of fine. I remember a long in hand. It's been so long. Let me stop. Right? You think about that. Okay? Right? And number three is that the hope of maybe we'll get back together again. All right? Maybe we will patch things up. In fact, you know, it won't take long. We'll talk again. You know what I'm saying, Shoot? Maybe in a week's time or 2 weeks' time, and not even that. Sometimes you think to yourself, when will we talk again? When will I see you again? When will I see you? Okay, so like sometimes you think about those things. You're like, when would I see you again? Like, when would I talk to you again? And that hope of, do you know what? I might see you at this event. Or I might see you here. You know what? Like, she might text me. Bro, okay, the one that really killed me is a phone. See, this is the crack. This phone, I should have said this other one, is the crack. Is the crack. It's 1:16 a.m. You can see it's 1:16 a.m. That's why I'm doing this video. Is the crack. No one talks about it. This is the crack. I'll talk about this in the part 2 of the video. This is the crack. Because this is where all your connection is stored. Look, it got to a point where, blood, you know when you have your phone on, yeah? And you know iPhone, how it pings. When someone texts you, you get a certain ping. Yeah? You know the sound, right? You remember the sound of the ping. And when it pings, you look at your phone immediately. Because you're like, oh, someone's messaged me. And because I was so used to that person messaging me and hearing the ping, you know what I'm saying to you? Now, that's a BBM sound, but don't worry about that, right? And hearing that sound, whenever my phone would go ping like that, I would look at my phone immediately like, oh, my God, like I'm on crack. You know what I'm saying to you? Or if my phone rings and I look at my phone, I'll be on crack. You know what I'm saying to you? I would always be searching, waiting, because that was what I was looking forward to. I wanted to see that moment. No one talks about how difficult that moment is. Where you see someone else call you or message you and you're like, they're not even the person I want to talk to you right now. You're not the person I want to talk to. You're not the person I want to be having a conversation with right now. I don't want to hear from you right now, blood. Yeah? And that is the most difficult thing. Right? And your phone is what carries all the text messages. So sometimes you're looking and I'll talk about this in part 2, where you're looking at your phone and you're in your text messages like, oh, I remember that message, I don't know. Or she sent me. Or you know when you start looking at old photos and you see them smiling, you're like, oh damn, that was a good moment, that was a good time. That's one of the hardest things. Now, if I can add a fourth one which is a major trigger, we'll talk about this when I talk about hidden triggers, is that when you go somewhere where you've been. See, they don't want to talk about that. Everyone's talking about let go. It's all about the let go. Let go where? I haven't even started the position yet, my guy. We need to speak about some of the dangers and the potholes that you're going to see first, right? The difficulty of the fact that at this point in time, even if you go somewhere, you remember, you sit down on your couch and maybe you remember a moment. You sleep in your bed. We're Christians, we shouldn't be doing that. But you sleep in your bed and you think about the person. Come on. No one talks about this. But let's talk about 3 solutions, yeah? Let's talk about 3 solutions that can help you in this situation. Because I can't say it's impossible and then not bring a possibility. Okay? Number 1, the shock of silence, not being able to talk to that person again. You got to give yourself grace, right? And what we mean by give yourself grace, give yourself, some understanding and be okay with the fact that you're about to go through a crack withdrawal. You're going to have the Joneses, okay? You're going to be scratching up on your neck. You're going to do all the stuff that Dave Chappelle showed us in the video that he gonna be doing, okay? Because in reality, you are withdrawing from that person, okay? All right? Be okay with the fact that you're gonna have the moments where you're gonna be...
Why are you crying?
You're gonna be okay with those moments. You gotta sit with it. Be okay with it. Process the emotions. Let the emotions swim by like a river. Like a river in my soul. Anyway, you gotta let the emotions flow, my guy. Every time you stop the emotions, every time you block the emotions, every time you suppress the emotions, whatever you don't suppress and you don't address will soon come to undress you. Yeah, it was a bar. I don't know. I was thinking about it for a while still. But you know what I'm saying? You don't play with me now. You know what I mean? I was thinking about it for a second or two. But you don't suppress it and don't push it down, because you're gonna have to address it. So number one, yes, the silence of not being able to talk to that person is a killer. And if you need to, block them. That's what I do. I block people. I block you. I don't want to see you. I don't want to smell you. I don't want to taste you. I don't want to hear anything. I don't even give you a chance. I block you. I block. I block. Yeah. Number two, the next solution for for a breakup that's not necessarily bad is recognizing that you still need to work through the grief. Right? The grief. You still got to work through the grief, even if there is no villain or somebody you're angry at. Right? When we talk about the grief, you have to understand there's denial, there's anger, there's negotiation. Okay, there's depression, okay, and there's some acceptance, and you have to work yourself through it, and it's not all in order. So you have to be ready for the fact that you're going to go through a process of grieving. That person is dead. The moment you guys broke up and went into no contact, the person is dead. Let them go. Let it go. And when I say let it go, what I mean by that is start working through the grief. Allow yourself to work through it. You know what I'm saying to you? You got to give yourself that chance to go out for the grief. And number three, okay, part of the grief process, which I said about acceptance, is learning how to accept that this is a part of the grieving process. Learn to accept that, listen, I'm going to have a funeral for this relationship, and I've got to be able to process my emotions. I've got to be able to accept what's happening in front of me. And accepting does not mean that I'm okay with it. Acceptance says this is what is happening, and that I have to be okay with the fact that I may go through the stage of denial, I may go through acceptance, I may go through negotiation. Negotiation is the funniest part, because you try to negotiate. You're like, well, if I just text her today, I won't text her tomorrow, and then I'll be okay. Negro, stop negotiating, okay? Stop negotiating. But it's all part of the process, right? So in all three, the solution is really work through the grief. Don't skip the process. Don't try to go round it. Don't try to sleep it off with some other gal, because it doesn't stop. You still got to do the work. Whatever you don't face will face you later on anyway. So you can try and get another girl or another guy. You can go and distract yourself with work, which is okay to a degree, or you can go and play games or go and eat yourself away. But the reality is, you're gonna have to come and face your emotions eventually. So those are the three things that are going to make no contact impossible. You know what I mean?
Oh, DD, oh, what it is? Oh, DD, what?
That's how your head be spinning. That's how my head was like the whole entire time. My head be like, yeah. You know what I mean? But listen, my name is Dark Arts Podcast. We're here to help you guys navigate the dating arenas, help you go down the rabbit hole, to help you expose the game. Listen, if this has touched you, if this is something that you're going through right now, maybe you're in a no contact zone, maybe you're struggling with no contact, then reach out to me, because I do personalized coaching as well. All right? There's a link down below in the description box. I want you to use it and make sure that you reach out to me so we can help you navigate and become successful in attempting this no contact zone. Because let me tell you this, it does actually work. It does. It may break you first, but you're going to become better. Okay? We break you down to build you up. All right? We appreciate you guys. Stay locked, we'll see you again very, very soon.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.